morning, kids. What time is it?
We have arrived at our destination, Edson. Now, to be fair, we started this channel in late October, so we missed like the first 6 weeks of the season. So we haven't gone wire to wire, but hey, it's a valiant effort either way, right? We stuck. We did miss a week in the middle.
Yeah, it was
we had a little trouble. Week 12, I think. Yeah. So we couldn't recap 12 and didn't do picks for 13. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Something like that. But you know what? Sometimes life kicks you in the jimmy.
Yeah.
So before we get started on our picks, which are going to be very difficult this week because benchings and
there's a lot of variables.
COVID, So my season record is 80-46. Yours is 80-46. Oh, it's a Donnybrook.
Yeah,
this is it. Rubber's going to hit the road right now, and I'm not feeling too confident. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm pulling in Atlanta Falcons here. I had the lead for most of the season, and now I'm going to choke at the end, crunch time.
I'm not confident at all about some of these. I mean, some of them seem obvious, but other ones.
Yeah, but every time you say that, you go like 15-1. When I say that, I go 4-11. All right, let's get started, shall we? Let's see. First up, the aforementioned Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Brady's. So, I don't know. Does Tom have to play?
He's
going to play the first half again, probably.
I guess they don't absolutely need this game, but I would think they want to stay in this spot that they're on because they get to go to wherever unlikely NFC East team gets into the playoffs. So that's a nice place to start your playoff run.
Right.
So I think they definitely will want to win, and it's just natural that they want to like end the season on a high and just keep going,
right?
Instead of holding back. Yeah, I think they'll play at least half, and until they think the game's in hand.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Oh, that was it.
My feeling on that too is that Atlanta is one of those teams that they can score a lot of points, and we've talked about this a lot. Their defense is not built to play 60 minutes. That's clear. Right. But they could come up big in the role of spoilers in the fact that if Brady does sit down in the second half.
I mean, I haven't heard. Yeah, that's true.
I haven't heard anything about it either. But I'm looking at the playoff picture now, and the Rams have 9 wins, and the Buccaneers already have 10. So if Tampa Bay does lose and the Rams do win, do they leapfrog them?
So it's only the Rams. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. We went over all the scenarios yesterday.
No. Yes, they do. Yeah, the answer is yes because the Rams just like clobber them. I remember that was like that was one of those games where we're like, the Rams are going to win this division. How could they?
You're right, because that's the week I said, I think the Rams are the most complete team in the NFC.
Yeah.
They completely.
So yes, they do need to stay at least in that one. I mean, obviously they're in the playoffs, but so I'm definitely going Tampa Bay regardless. But
yeah, I am too.
But you're right. There's all these other things that go into it, so who knows?
I mean, we did that whole playoff scenario last night, and my head still hurts. I don't remember much of it, any of it, really, to tell you the truth. Just being completely honest, it was a nightmare. Next up, Dallas at the Giants. This is for the division.
It is. Well, could be, if
potentially.
Washington stumbles, yeah.
Washington has to lose, but whoever wins this game gets the division. So.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like I don't want to just jump on the trusting the Cowboys because they could just get killed one week, but they have shown some positive, like consistently for like three weeks, maybe 4 weeks in a row. Some consistent, and on the opposite side of it, the Giants have kind of like shown us that consistently how bad they are right now. Probably the last 4 weeks also. I think we talked about. I think it was they were doing so well until Jones got injured, and never seems to. He may have fully recovered. I don't know, but they haven't really fully. The offense itself has never fully recovered since then. It looks like.
Yeah.
They've been like kind of just leaving their defense out there, and now their defense has taken a couple steps back. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, but I'm not like super confident about it, just based on trends.
I'm going with the Cowboys too, only because they're red hot.
Yeah.
And at this time of year, usually if you're red hot and you get on one of these rolls, you steamroll right into the playoffs. So I agree with everything you said about the Giants. Who knows? I mean, they could get it all together this week and shut that Dallas offense down. But if Dallas looks even 70% like they did last week, they're going to crush the Giants. So,
Yep.
Seems like the Cowboys, for whatever their deficiencies are, have put them in the rearview mirror, at least for now, for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
Next up, this is a tough game. This is another one I was like,
This is one of the tougher games, even though it doesn't really
right,
mean much for
for either team.
Draft picks or playoffs or anything like
Adam
that.
Gase is probably going to get his walking papers at 4:15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Jets have been pretty competitive last probably not just the last couple weeks, but more than that, 3 or 4
about
weeks.
A month now.
Yeah. And the Patriots have looked abysmal, and still I can't give you a good reason that I'm still going to go with the Patriots right here.
Well, Bill Belichick hates the Jets. That's for starters. He absolutely loathes that organization.
I know, but looking at their offense, it's hard for me to say it. Just looking
that's
at the
what
way
scares me. Can the Patriots even move the ball? They're running that remedial offense with Cam Newton trying to run options and going backwards all the time. I don't know. I mean, they might have to bring in what's his name, Stidham.
I'm wondering if he's just going to start right from the beginning. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I just can't see the Jets pulling another win out of their dupas. I just can't. But I don't trust New England either. Can I take a mulligan? Is that possible?
I know. There's a couple of those.
Oh, I got to pick something here, huh?
I'm going to take the mulligan on.
Boy. All right. Gun to my head. It's in Foxborough. Home team. Patriots. That's going to be one ugly game.
I know. Yeah.
Next up, another who gives a crap game. Minnesota at Detroit.
Yeah, both teams trending
downward.
I don't know if there's much to say about this. Certainly not a lot positive for either side. It's just I think Detroit's in bigger shambles than Minnesota. That's the only thing I can say. That's why I'd go with Minnesota.
Detroit is who I kind of expected them to be, 5 or 6 win team. The Vikings are the biggest disappointment in the NFC this year, I think. You could put the 49ers there, but the 49ers got racked with injuries. The Vikings have been pretty much healthy. They lost Dalvin Cook for a little bit, but overall, they've had enough weapons, their usual weapons.
They had that.
They got out bad.
You're right. And there was no reason why they got to that 1-5 start either. So
that killed them.
They couldn't recover enough. We thought they might be able to, but no.
They've been 6-4 since, but it just wasn't enough.
Right.
So that said, I'm going to go Minnesota as well, just because they're all playing for jobs. I don't think Zimmer's going to get fired by any stretch.
I don't think so either.
If anything, it's Kirk Cousins has to prove that he can lead this team, and he's going to have to put a win on the board, get them to 7-9, go lick their wounds, and come back next year. Next up, my team at Cleveland, and my team is resting all the veterans.
Yeah.
The Browns have to win to get in.
Basically, you just said it all. I think. I mean, I'm going to pick the Browns because, Tomlin was right up front about it. He's not one of those. He wasn't one of those sneaky guys that's like, maybe we'll res. No, he pretty much said it.
I like his terminology. We're going to airmail the veterans to the playoffs.
Yeah, and Cleveland's getting their receivers back that they didn't have last week.
Right.
So that should be, and their offensive line is back to full strength as well. So that should be.
They need the game.
And they need the game.
As much as I would love to see Mason Rudolph revenge game.
Yeah,
Mason
I know.
Rudolph coming back and shoving it up Myles Garrett's arse and beating them, but it's not going to happen. Also, going Browns at home in a must-win for me. All right, next up. Boy, these games are not very good. I hate Week 17. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Again, Baltimore needs the game, so not to
Cincinnati.
They're just a better.
Cincinnati's been competitive the last 2 games. You got to give them that.
With their third string and then backup quarterback in consecutive games, and they put up 37 points last week. That's crazy.
Yep. Against the Texans, yeah.
So,
but the Ravens are rolling. I mean, was it 4 straight weeks now? I mean, granted, we've talked about that it's not been a hard competition. I get it, but they've been winning very handily against that competition, and I don't see them slowing down here against the Bengals.
I concur. Next up, this is the game of the week, I think. Miami.
This is one of those where you don't know what's going on with Buffalo. Technically they don't really need the game, but you haven't heard anything about resting starters or anything like that. They're keeping it close to the vest. Like if I knew that they were, then I would be more confident about picking one side or the other. But it's like I have no idea. And now on top of that, Tua is he's out there kind of like on an island because there is no rescue. Because I just heard yesterday, right, that Fitzpatrick's on the COVID list, so there's no cavalry coming in if he has a hard time against the Buffalo defense, which has been playing a lot better. The Dolphins really need this game, obviously, to be in the playoffs, and the Buffalo really doesn't. And I'm still going with Buffalo.
Okay, here's where we differ.
Okay.
I think Miami really needs the game, and I think the Bills they're not saying it right now. They don't want to play their cards too early. I think they are going to rest a lot of guys. I think Allen might play the first half. He might only play the first quarter because you're right. They don't need the game. I mean, granted, there is a scenario where if they lose and Pittsburgh wins, they flip-flop. But with Pittsburgh resting everybody, I don't see that happening, and I'm pretty confident the Bills. And again, we talked about it the other day. With no crowds, there's no home field advantage. In Buffalo, it's a 37-minute flight from Pittsburgh, so the weather's going to be basically the same. There's no travel rigors involved here. So it doesn't matter if Pittsburgh and Buffalo flip-flop. I think they're more worried about being healthy going into the playoffs. So I think Buffalo will be pulling guys out of the game, and I think Miami will find a way to win that game. So
I hope you're right. Obviously,
I hope I'm right too, because I have a different pick from you, and I want to win. Seattle at San Francisco. This would have been awesome before everybody got busted up on San Francisco's team.
And I know San Francisco won a game against a team that needed that win,
right?
But I don't see them winning this game. I think Seattle will trudge along. They've been doing, the second half of the season, doing just enough to win. I don't think they'll blow them out, but and it's a division game. You usually don't see that in that division, which is so competitive. But I think they'll do enough to beat them. Seattle will.
I agree. I think Seattle. Don't forget, this is not a home game for the 49ers either. They're playing near Arizona. What's this? The third trip down to Arizona this year for Seattle, maybe? Or second, because they played the Cardinals. They played the Cardinals there. They're playing the 49ers there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Seattle. And Seattle's still playing they got an outside shot at that top seed.
They're competing for the top. Yep.
So I'm going Seahawks all the way on that one too. Next up.
Jeez.
Oh shit! I got the wrong record here. What the hell happened to this graphic?
Luckily, Arizona's
not 1-14. Oh god! And the Rams are 9-6. Where's my Keith screwed up message here?
Yeah, Arizona 8-7 and Rams
I'll have to fix that before the next show. Sometimes these things you get tired and they just slip through. All right, Cardinals are 8-7, Rams are 9-6. They both need to win for the
Both
most
need
part.
to get in.
Rams currently the number 6 seed. Arizona's on the outside looking in. But the Bears have that last spot right now. So
this is one of the ones that was like too many different variables going in, because
this is a
I
tough
know
game.
Goff is not playing, but you know what? He's had his issues. Murray got injured. I know he's playing, but he's playing hurt.
He's banged up, yeah.
You got that Rams defense that stopped them even back then when they played last time. Gosh, this is one of those where I didn't have one at the beginning. I'm gonna flip Cardinals.
Did you just do a scribble out?
Yeah, not really. It wasn't a scribble out, because I came in to the show. Believe it or not, I came into the show with like no clear cut.
Me
pick.
too. I always do it on the fly here.
And I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Otherwise, I'll overanalyze it and I get paralysis by analysis, and I scribble everything out, and then I end up screwing myself. So,
but I really don't have like a lot of like. I wouldn't be able to convince somebody really well of it.
Yeah, no, I sad is I don't think much of Jared Goff overall. I mean, he's got talent. There's no question about it. But I think there's something wrong up here when the going gets rough. So I got to go Cardinals too, because they have to win. They have to win or they're done.
Yeah.
And they were such a promising team at the beginning of the year. It was just shocking to watch them slowly lose and fall back and almost they're on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
so.
And the Rams can actually lose and still make the playoffs.
That's true too, because the Bears. Next up, the game you've been waiting for, and that's where the records came in. So see,
copy. Yeah,
you know what I did.
Yeah,
I fucked up. I know you're going Jags on this, so we'll just move right along.
You know, the Colts lost to the Jags. That was their one win.
Yeah, week 1. Wouldn't it be?
I know it's a long time ago.
Wouldn't it be a riot? I mean, yeah. So they beat the Colts week 1. They go on a 14-game losing streak, and wouldn't it be funny if they close out by beating them again?
It's really weird for the division games to be like the first and last game of the season. I've never seen this before. I mean, Obviously the Colts need the game to get in, and even if they win, they might still not get in. But I can't possibly pick the Jags on this.
No.
But I wouldn't be shocked if it was close, because the Colts have this tendency to just, they can't win a game like going away for some reason. They just have to make it a competition, I guess. I don't know.
It will be close. I totally agree with you. In fact, if Jacksonville can run the ball with Robinson, they can eat a lot of clock.
Yeah.
And that'll slow that Colts offense down quite a bit. So it'll be close, but the Colts have to win and then hope for other things to happen. So I'm with you all the way on that one. Next up, Tennessee. Where is it? If I can find it, here it is.
Who are they? Oh,
against Houston. Everything's divisional in the last week. So
yeah, right. Let's see.
This is another tough. This is tough. This is another one.
A tough one, because Tennessee, has proven they haven't corrected the issue with their defense is just not good, and it hasn't gotten any better.
No, they're third down. They cannot get off the field on third down.
You saw that last week too.
Yep.
They couldn't do anything to stop the Packers.
Right.
And I know, Sean Watson's had a great year. I know the record doesn't show anything, but that offense, it's not that offense's fault. That's for sure that they have a 4-11 record.
No, and David Johnson seems like he's back. So if he's a legitimate threat out of the backfield, and those receivers are killing it. I mean, Brandon Cooks last week went nuts. Watson doing Watson. This is definitely, you can see this being one of the upsets of the week.
I can. I'm still going to go with Tennessee because they lost last week, and they'll be like, we got to put this division away. And is the division still up? Yeah, it's still up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if Tennessee loses and the Colts win, the Colts get the division.
Wow. Okay. That's okay. I'm still going with Tennessee, even though I would not be surprised at all if the Texans won.
So I have Houston.
Okay.
As much as I agree, Tennessee's the better team. Tennessee's got Derrick Henry, and they can definitely control the ball. Tennessee's got a great head coach in Mike Vrabel. But
Yeah, he is. He is.
But that said, that defense and their inability to get off on third down lends me to think that they're going to give up about 30 points to Houston. And I don't know. I mean, we've seen them do it all year. They can get in shootouts with people. They can get in a track meet. This one to me just has upset written all over it. I just got a feeling for Houston.
I'm not going to argue too much. I'm still going to pick the Tennessee, but I wouldn't be confident about it.
Right. In another Who Cares Bowl here.
Oh,
the Vegas Raiders, who at one point,
what did I have in this game?
What were they, 6-4?
Yeah.
Now they're 7-8.
And they
look. What happened to this team?
And they look so good doing it too. It's like I remember in our early playoff scenarios, we both had the Raiders in there for sure.
Totally. Yeah.
I will share this. It's like a weird stat. It's like going back to the weird stats thing. Gruden over the last 6 or 7 years, before Raiders, when he had this stint with Tampa Bay, his teams are 8-24 from like week 13 or 14 on, like in a row.
Wow.
Even back then with Tampa Bay before the Raiders.
Really?
And I was like, I'm not taking credit. I didn't find this stat. I saw it somewhere. Right. I wish I could give credit because I can't remember where I saw it, but it's happened, and I really didn't think it would happen this year, but it did. It happened again.
Wow. Yeah, that's not the way to go into the postseason.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're obviously on it.
This is the time of year to get hot, not cool.
That being said, I'm picking the Raiders.
I am too, and for starters, I pride. Chucky's going to get them to 500. Yeah. It's a disappointing year for them. That, and I've picked Denver 2 weeks in a row because I've had that vibe, that upset vibe, and they screwed me. So I'm not going to pick them 3. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I won't get fooled again.
Yeah.
So, screw you, Denver. Make an ass out of me. So Chargers at the Chefs.
This one's weird. Because they've already announced Mahomes not playing.
Yeah, the Chiefs aren't gonna. Don't expect Tyreek Hill, Le'Veon Bell. They're all gonna sit. Kelsey.
And, the Chargers will want to finish, in a high. Going into next year. Right. Kansas City doesn't need any part of this game. So based on that, I'm going to go with the Chargers. I mean, obviously they have Herbert, who's been great all year.
Yeah.
Their defense is still. And if this turned out to be this way, I would say typical. If they got out to this great lead and for some reason just gave it away, I would be like, yeah, typical. But I'm going to pick the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers all the way on this one. You're right, though. Their defense is a sieve. I've never seen a team who just has complete inability to stop anyone in a big spot. This team is abhorrent. And they're right there with Atlanta as far as coughing up big leads and choking away games late. Although their clock management skills aren't helping them either. But they've been hot lately, and Herbert's good, and I think they want to save Anthony Lynn because he's very likable. Everyone loves Anthony Lynn. I'd like to see him get one more shot with that kid in his second year next year,
just to see what that both of them can do with a little bit better start.
Yeah, with Herbert actually named the starter week 1 instead of an emergency fill-in in week 2, and So yeah, I'm going Chargers on this one too. Chiefs have absolutely nothing to play for. It's a preseason game. Here's a game with lots of playoff implications, just dripping, just oozing off of it.
Oh, yeah.
Packers in the Bears.
This is probably the one that really affects like the most teams.
Yes.
You got Green Bay needs to win for the number 1 seed because there's like Seattle and New Orleans still in it for it.
Right.
And Chicago needs it to get in there because they're competing with 2 other teams, the Cardinals and wow, this one has a lot going on.
Yes, it does.
And Chicago's, they've proven that they overcame that, where we just had nothing good to say about their offense. and over the last 4 weeks, they've been great on offense. Trubisky, Montgomery,
Robinson.
Edson. Their defense is actually kind of taken a little bit of step back, but
Strange.
Still,
Well, it's probably all the miles they logged at the first 12 games of the year.
And Green Bay, I know I agree with you that I think they're very vulnerable, but they keep showing us that they keep rolling. So I'm going to go with Green Bay, and that probably means that Chicago's not going to make the playoffs, but it'll go with our Forkham thing too.
Right. We will be accurate with our forks. I'm telling you, if the Bears pull this out and make the playoffs, I'm going to pull that clip and play it.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, this is for Green Bay, for that number one, this is a really true, we really want this, because they want whatever team to go through there. Like you've mentioned about that, the weather up there.
Specifically thinking about two warm weather teams that would probably have all kinds of problems. They're the Saints and the Tampa Bay Bucks. So although Brady's played in the cold, it won't affect Brady, but I think the rest of the team, it's a team sport. So,
and even the Seahawks would probably have a problem there too.
Maybe. Just traveling east for the Seahawks is brutal. So I got to go Green Bay too. I really would love to see Chicago win this.
I would too.
I'm gonna be pulling for the Bears, but I don't think they have enough, and you're not going to see Trubisky. Well, then again, I don't know. Nah, I'm going to go Green Bay. I almost did a scribble out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a scribble out. All right, we got 2 left for our picks before we close out the regular season. The Aints and the Panthers.
Okay, Saints playing same thing as Green Bay, playing for that. Still trying to get for that number 1 seed, and so this is okay. So they'll be playing; those games will be playing at the same time. Okay.
Yep.
And Carolina, they've been feisty all year long. They've been in game most games, but they're still. I don't think they have enough to beat New Orleans, though.
No. There is one problem I see for the Saints. And it's been a problem with their franchise for decades. Saints on grass.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Saints on grass are not the same Saints for whatever reason. It's bizarre. But they're playing for the top seed. And you're right. Since the Green Bay game's at the same time, it's not like they can be scoreboard watching or they know the result. Right. And unless they see at halftime Green Bay's got like a 3-score lead on the Bears, they might take their foot off the gas here, but and start resting guys. But I think New Orleans is going to play hard and try to go in the playoffs on a high note, especially just getting Breeze going.
Right. I think
it took them a whole game and a half to kind of really get moving again.
And they lost that.
It's like us getting off the couch. It takes us a whole thing to get going.
Which he did pretty well last game, but still you want to keep that going.
Exactly. So I got to go Saints, even though I don't think it'll be high flying outside. They're not good on the grass. And then the last game of the night, football team versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
Boy, this is another one.
Is Smith still playing?
They don't have Haskins anymore. So
I know, but they have some other guy that I forgot his name, that they picked up off somebody's or maybe their own practice squad.
Yeah, it's just an emergency situation.
I know. Obviously, Washington is not the same. They're not the same without Alex Smith. With him in there, they play very well.
Yep.
I'm probably going to be different. I'm going to go with the Eagles only because of one reason only, and it's very flimsy. And here's my thinking.
There's no home fans to throw batteries at them.
Well, there's a little bit more to that. Jalen Hurts, we know he's done it probably enough to be the starter next year, right?
Right.
I think in his head, like, he still thinks this game is still another.
He's still trying to prove.
Still an opportunity, especially since last game he kind of stumbled. And I'm not saying, I don't think at all that if he lays an egg in this game, all of a sudden they're going to go back to what. Not at all. I think in his head, he wants to just like play, just do as much as he can and go out with a win. just so that he can just go into next year. It's like, yeah, I know I've proven that I'm the guy for the job, and I think he will be the difference and they'll win. But again, it's flimsy based on last week's game too. But
Well,
that's
I see your point, and I think that's a valid point that he would want to go out on a high note and use it to build toward next season. I think you'll see Carson Wentz in a different uniform next year.
Yeah.
That said, Washington's got Gibson back. And last week, Gibson did exactly what I predicted he would do. He didn't get his full workload. I have him on my fantasy team. He still scored me like 9 or 10 points, but
that's right. Gibson
normally he's up over 20. But he's full speed this week, and that guy makes a huge difference in that offense. So, is McLaurin back? I didn't check on that.
I didn't check on that either.
I didn't, because he's the only wide receiver they have that can catch. That said, I just think with their defense, Alex Smith and Gibson back, they have enough. And it's winning in for them. They win, they're in, and they get a home playoff game. So I'm going to go Washington. So you're right. We do have a different one on this last game. But your logic, I completely agree, and it is kind of spooky. I almost did a scribble out, but I've learned my lesson. No more scribble out.
Alex Smith could just throw the ball to himself if he has to. I mean, he's fine with that.
He's done that before.
Yeah.
All right, this is it, man. 80-46 for me. 80-46 for you. This is it.
And since we have 3 games, it'll be.
We have 3 games different, so there's no way we can tie.
Oh, wait. One of them will tie. I will bet you one of them will tie.
No, we had one tie. There can't be more than one tie a year.
That'd be amazing if they did.
It would. So please remember, if you're watching, and thank you if you are, to subscribe to the channel. You can find us on all the socials, Insta, Twitter, and Faceplant at GeekTime Net. Website to be geektimenetwork.com, and you can email us at the Gmail, the geektimenet at the Gmail. So that's it.
Yep.
This is our last pick show for the regular season 2020. Now 2021.
I'm already excited about the playoffs.
I am too. I'm building some new graphics and stuff for the playoff shows, so I'm looking forward to that. So, all right. Well, good luck to you, my friend. One of us is going to come out the Wiener League champ here.
Yeah, I hope there's some nice games or some good games, and we can enjoy the season.
Well, we got 7 1 o'clocks, 8 4 o'clocks or 4:25s, and then 1 8:20.
Wow, it's that many. Jeez,
yeah,
it's going to be hard to keep up with all those. Oh, wow,
it really is. This Sunday might be Sports Bar Sunday. Oh, did I say bars are supposed to be closed? I mean, Sports Restaurant Sunday.
I'm really going to have to sit down for the recap of this week. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of.
I know
games to deal with. Okay.
I know. Put your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck to you, my friend, and I'll see you for the wrap-up show early next week. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?